am. Hi to everyone. My name is Tine Vande Casteele. I'm from the Flemish Energy Agency, and I'd like to present you our plans for our Flemish building passport. I will tell you shortly about our concept, the guidelines behind it, and also the link to the renovation advice. Because as Maarten said, this presentation will be on the logbook, but we do have a renovation roadmap project, but that won't be the issue of this presentation. So I'll present you the roadmap for our logbook on long term and also on short term. So our concept, I'd like to say that our building passport, the project has started in 2015 with the Renovation Pact, an action plan from the government together with important stakeholders in order to reach a higher renovation rate of the Flemish building stock. So there we had the concept of the building passport. That building passport that should be a very unique digital and complete file of each dwelling. And by dwelling I mean a dwelling unit as a single house unit or even an apartment in a bigger apartment building. It should be a file, very complete, but it should also be an interactive tool, an instrument for the citizens. And in the first place, the building owner, but also future buyers or tenants who wants to get a view on many relevant building aspects. So it has to be very modular, as you can see in that little photograph. As we are the Flemish Energy Agency, we wanted to show data on energy, the data on energy as is, but also the potentials, the roadmap towards the goal of 2050, but also on other building aspects such as dwelling quality, renewable energy, heritage, water, soil, asbestos, and so on. So it has to be a very integral file of the dwelling. We can give data, information of certificates, this data that's known by the government on your property. We can share that with the building owner or other interested partners, but it cannot only be consulted by the owner. We think that the owner could authorize other persons to his building passports, such as future buyers, future tenants, but also partners of the building process, contractors, architects, experts on renovation strategies, so that they know what is known about the dwelling, and so that their advice can be better. So it has to be a very good instrument. But it also can be a digital safe because not all the building information is already kept digital. So we think that there's a useful place for self-services for the owner or for other third parties like an architect or a contractor to enrich the information or on the building or on performed works that are kept in the building and the dwelling. And also, it's really important that the administrative burdens who take over the renovation process has to be reduced. So we want the building passport to assist people in the renovation process and to give a one-pager, to give help on the duties and the certificates that are needed in a building process or in buying a dwelling. So that's the concept of our building passport. Three things are very important, are really guidelines. And first of all, the building passport has to be user-centric. So we want to have one platform where the owner has an overview on everything on data, but also on services, duties, but also on subsidies, financial bonuses that are known or available for his property. And we want it to be user-centric, so we designed this together with, in co-creation with citizens. But later on, I'll say something more about it. Moreover, it has to be reliable. We bring information together on one platform, but the maintenance and the content should be kept with the different entities who are responsible for the information. So in that way, we want to ensure specialization and effectiveness of the policy of each entity who delivers information to our building passport. And it has to be effective. What's in it for me, for the citizen, is very important. We want the tool to be to help people in reducing the administrative burdens during a lifetime event, like I'm going to build a house, I'm going to renovate a house, I'm going to sell, or I'm going to buy a house. So these are the three most important guidelines for our building passport. How did we involve the stakeholders? Well, we had like two projects where we have 2 or 3 monthly communication and meetings with stakeholders. And first of it was the Renovation Pact. It's the project a project that we have together with the stakeholders to upgrade energy performance of existing housing by 2050. And there we defined many action plans to get an upgrade of the energy performance, and one of these was the building passport, on which we hope that the tool for planning renovations will introduce a dynamic in the renovation market. But also by sharing information, maybe it can lead to partnerships in renovation, that you see that your neighbor is willing to do the same thing in your house, and you have like district initiatives who come out. And another interesting case is the case of integrations of certificates. That's another related project. When you build or you have to sell or you renovate your house, you have different interactions with the government, different moments of attestations, but you cannot make it to one. Every certificate has its special characteristics, has its special content. So the building passport can help in giving an overview, an integrated overview of the certificates. So that's the bigger projects of the building passport. But why do we link it to renovation advice itself, the Renovation Roadmap towards 2050? Well, in the building passport, we bring together data of the government, but that's only a snapshot, and that's limited information, because not every work that is carried out is known by the government, and data on certificates is really a snapshot at that time, so it isn't really up to date. So we want the building passport to keep information up to date and actual. So how can we do this? To include the digital safe, where people, owners, or other building persons can add data on personal data on works carried out, photographs, invoices, and so on. But also by visualizing the roadmap towards the energy efficient unit, and by letting the people update their steps towards that goal of an energy efficient unit. So we believe that the building passport can be actively used to upload supporting documents and data on performed works, so that the tool can calculate a new indicative level of energy performance. So you can see the steps towards the goal. And also we could link them to other databases on qualified works or on products or on industries, so we can gather the most updated information. And here we have also opportunities to benchmark your house in a bigger context, your street, your district, your town, and maybe it can lead to partnerships, district renovations. But it's very important that there's added value, because for the citizen it's really important what's in it for me. Otherwise they won't update the building passport. So we believe that first of all it should minimize the burdens during the life events building and renovating, but in the end, it also can lead to a more automatically process of awarding financial bonuses on works carried out. And also, if you upload some information on the building passport, we could share this information between different entities on local level, provincial level, regional level, federal level, so that you only have to load up once at a time the information. And in the future, it's possible to link it to other initiatives like smart buildings, smart meters, maybe emo sites, by creating an open system. So how do we realize such a building passport? Well, it's a story of a few years. But we will start small. We will start in 2018 with a light version, where we focus on pushing data from the government to the building owner. So we want to give them an integrated view of the attestations, the certificates that exist on the building, and the possibility to retrieve, to download that information, and to inform the citizen about the different duties or grants he can get from a building process, and allowing them to give feedback. In a medium version, we go a step further. We can use the tool to actively send messages to the building owners or to other people on duties or on the rights they have according to their property. We want also to give more persons, third parties, access to the building passport. So we want to fulfill an authorization so that the building owner can authorize other persons in a certain role to get to view certain aspects of the building passport. We also want to add a checking tool of the dwelling quality and the ability to upload supporting documents. And then we go further in 22. We want the renovation advice to be actively represented in the building passport, and also the update of the advice by collecting data on the performed works, either by the self-service by the owner or by connecting to other databases on quality assurance of works. And maybe we can give also a tailored view to the owners or to buyers of the grants and the loans that are related to their property. And so in a few years, we can go further. We can integrate smart meters, smart buildings, going to a kind of automatic advice, depending on the information that is kept over the building. And it will start to be a very interesting reporting tool to policy, because we can have the ability to monitor data. At first, our building passport was about energy in the light version, but from September 2016, we started conversations with different regional entities, and by the end of 2016, we had a formal agreement with a few entities of the Flemish government, the entity who collects data on the waste and soil, on the environment, on the dwellings and the dwelling quality, on the spatial planning, and on energy. So with 3 ministers, the Ministry on Energy, Housing and Environment, we signed an agreement, a commitment to realize the light and the medium version of the building passport. So now we're working with those 4 entities on this passport, and at short term this year, we will try to realize that light version. So the past year we worked on the agreement, the scope and the data inventarization, which data we can collect and can give to the building owners. And now we are, at the beginning of 2017, we are starting with building prototypes. These are wireframes, which a user experience partner, a web designer, designs in co-creation with different entities, with stakeholders, but also together with service and public service, to have a view on what citizens want the building passports to be. So now we're working on the prototypes. Then we will do a proof of concept. We will check out if we can build these prototypes in the technology we foresee. And then we'll start with the development so that we have a first light version in 2018. And meanwhile, we also do a very important juridical research. It's very important to know what we are allowed to share. So we will have to do many on authorization and ask permissions to the Privacy Commission to share data with the owner or with other third parties. And we surely will have to work on a legal framework, a decree about a building passport. What is the building passport? What are the roles? What are the responsibilities? So we will have to work on a decree on that. And also, besides the juridical research, we will also have the technical research. How can we link the information? And there, the building register is also a Flemish project who works on a building unit identificator, will be a very central element in connecting data and sharing them with other people. So now we are working on this light version with 4 partners, but we foresee also different other roles, the role of a data publisher or users of a platform, and in these roles we can add new partners to enrich the building passports the coming years. So we will work on partner management as well. And meanwhile, so we have the logbook, what the presentation was about now. We also work on the Renovation Roadmap. It's a kind of the same roadmap, the same milestones. So now we're working on prototypes, and we work out the methodology to come to a renovation advice, so that in the end, in 2019, we can connect the renovation advice and the following up of the renovation advice in our logbook. So that's the presentation I'd like to share with you. So I thank you very much.